Woo! Well, I do not get any sleep. Should be a makeup tutorial on how to conceal sleepy eyes. I'm retarded. Alright, now we're going to learn how to make the Lumos spell effects that trace the wands in After Effects. If you haven't seen Study Break, click the link, it's right there. Alright, let's get into it.
Alright, so here we have our scene with our wands waving in the air. There's no effects here. They're just acting. They see Dementors, and those Dementors will be there at the end. The special effects. So let's go to our effects. Let's turn them on. And you see here, there's a bunch of, and we're using Knoll Light Factory, which is by Magic Bullet. So let's just scroll through that. You can render by hitting 0, and then it will render your frames for playback. And we're rendering at half, so we don't have to, so it doesn't take as long. You see that little zoom through time? All right, let's turn our effects off and add. You can see here these wands are moving way too fast for the camera, so they're blurring. We could add a tracker, but um, it wouldn't follow in this scene. For some of our other shots, we can use a tracker, but this one we're gonna have to do it painstakingly, frame by frame. So we're gonna use Light Factory, pull that in, scroll up, and then just turn it on, and we have a nice little lens flare going on. Nice lens flare. So let's go into options, and this is where you customize your lens flare, and here are a bunch of presets that they got for you. Nice little presets going on. So let's close this. Over here we have a bunch of effects you can add. You can grab and pull the lens flare anywhere in the shot. Let's just move it to this. It doesn't matter, it won't be in the scene this way. This is just to preview our lens flare. So here we got a bunch of stuff. We can delete things. Just click on it and click delete. Uh, you can change your colors here, different things. Let's scroll down. I've already made a preset here, if I can find it. I always name things wrong. Okay, let's click this one's a nice little lens flare here. And you see, you can just save your presets once you've made them. Let me just open this one up here, and you see there's a nice little Lumos effect going on. And you can click and drag that all over the scene. Now we could add big effects like this flare here, but you want to limit that, especially since we have a lot of effects going on in the scene over here. We have a lot of different wands going on. So if we add a bunch of lens flares with these same effects going on, it's going to be splashing all over, and it's going to be very, very annoying. So let's delete that. You may want to keep that down to 1 or 2 and bring the brightness down, you know, but that's up to you. Let's click OK when we're ready. And now you see that we have our lens flare in the scene, and we can move it around, move the point of origin around. Cool, cool, very cool. Now you see we can't really see our wand while we're doing this, and that's a problem because we need to follow the tip of our wand, the very tippy top. So let's click here. We're gonna start adding keyframes. So let's make this timeline editable. So let's now we can move our point of origin around the scene using keyframes, and let's turn our effect off so that we can now see the tip of our wand. Now make sure that that is selected, and then this tip will be visible even though our effect is turned off. So let's move that to the very tippity top. And now you can see you can move through your keyframes using these controls over here. Now that's pretty hectic. You'll see here if we move and then keyframe and then move and then keyframe, it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than, I mean, it may look pretty easy now, but when you're dealing with a lot of shots with a lot of wands and a lot of frames, it can be very, very hectic. Just moving and clicking and moving and clicking, and you'll want to blow your brains out. So just move and click, move and click. So the shortcut for this is page up and page down, and that scrolls through the timeline without having to use those controls over there. And that's, you can find those on your keyboard. So just move and click, move and click. If you lose your wand because it blurs too much, then then just kind of estimate. So move and click, move and click, move and click, move and click, move and shoot yourself, move and get a divorce, move and have a midlife crisis. Cool, we got our little shot going on here. We got our little dot following our tippity top. So now let's bring this out and let's render it. And by the way, I'm just zooming in and out using the wheel on my mouse. So let's render this, hitting 0. Ooh, it's following very nicely. So we see it going through our scene, and it's very nice. And you don't have to use no light flare. You can create a solid and then just kind of create uh, a mask and move it out. However you want to do this. Um, let's see. So if you want to move this behind something in the shot, this doesn't actually move behind it in the shot, but if it did move behind his arm or something like that, we can't actually see it go through his arm. I mean, it's not humanly, well, it's improbable. It's improbable that we would see it through his arm. So let's pretend that it is going behind his arm since it isn't in this shot. So let's just see one way of dealing with this problem. So the way we're gonna deal with this problem is let's say that right here is where the it goes behind his arm. So we're gonna click here and click the brightness down, and that adds a keyframe there, and then add one at the beginning with it full at 100, and then it will go down and then it is gone. So this is if it's behind him, you wouldn't actually see the flare hitting the camera. So unless there are ways to do it, you could mask out his arm and create a new layer, and it's a lot. It's a lot of work. I mean, it's up to you how you want to pull off this effect. I'd say go the easy way, but if you have some a director who is asking you to create effect differently, I mean, just check with them before you just go ahead with an effect like this. But this is a huge time saver. So you can just pull it through, uh, put the brightness down. We're gonna pretend that it comes back up out of the darkness. I mean, out of behind his arm. So let's go over and make sure that's selected. Let's go down so we can see our keyframes. We just click here and click the child, and you see here it's a child of lens. So we go down to brightness, and then we see our keyframes. And it's a good thing to see your keyframes and make sure that you're not overlapping with some other keyframe, because uh, you'll go crazy over this. If you can't find your keyframe that's messing you up, that could ruin your day. So let just know where the children are of these nodes. as you go down here. So these are other options. You can scale it. The problem with scaling with Knoll Light Factory is that um, they don't have a max, so that uh, so it can crash. So make sure you save and save all the time, or you're gonna lose your work. Uh, Make sure you stay in safe levels, like don't go above 3 with scale, and make sure brightness isn't going too high. Just save a lot, save all the time. So here you can just kind of track through your keyframes using the side keyframe jumper, and that makes sure you don't overlap anything. Now let's bring the brightness up. Pretend he's coming out of the arm now. Now we got a nice cool effect of. Let's render it. Let's hit 0 and see we got a nice little effect going on. Cool. Better cool. So that's how you make a Luminos spell effect. So if you like these tutorials, please subscribe. Please. Alright, thank you. Bye.